Guys, it's Z from Build the Business You Love. And today I have a good video for you. We are going to be talking about pricing. Okay. Yeah. How you get your money. Okay. For your venue. So we're going to be talking about pricing your venue. So if you have a venue currently and you're not quite sure where you need to be. And also, if you're currently in the market of getting a venue, if you're in the process of doing your business plan, or maybe you're just doing your one-page business plan, or just shopping around for venues, but you still don't really know quite how to price your venue, then this video is definitely for you. Okay. So first of all, I want you, in getting into knowing your prices, I want you to know your numbers. Okay. So I want you to pull out your handy dandy calculator, know your numbers, know what exactly you need to maintain your doors. Okay. You need to know what's going to keep your doors open. So, how much is your rent? How much is your utility bills? How much is your insurance? How much are you paying your people to clean up after every event? How much are your supplies and your tissue and your hand sanitizer and all the things that you have to make your business work? How much is that every month? Okay. So, in knowing how much your overhead is, you can equate that to how many parties or events that you need to have. Okay. Let's give it a nice round number like 5,000. Let's say your overhead is $5,000, right? We want to make sure that you have enough events in the month to cover $5,000 overhead. This is just to meet the minimum, just to keep the doors open and just to maintain your venue, right? To maintain to break even basically. So this is where we are. So you need to know your break even point and how many events that equates to. The next thing you need to know is how much you need to stay profitable. So how much you can take home, right? Because you want to take home money. You're not working for free. So you need to know what that is. Once you're out of that break-even zone, you need to know how many events it equates to so that you're able to start making a profit. And you could look at how much you want to make. Say, for example, if you want to make $10,000 a month, bring home $10,000 a month profit, right? You need to know how many events that equates to, right? The next thing I want you to do is set your goals from a month to month basis. In order to set your goals, you need to know your event cycles. You need to know what seasons are popular in your area and also what seasons are your downtimes. If you don't know this, then you could easily make the mistake of setting a high goal during a down period. And that's why I tell people that it's really important to know your cycles, right? And do your research. So, know your goals for the month. Make sure that they're smart goals, realistic, attainable, all that stuff. And make sure that you know what you need to meet that goal. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is understand that certain days book out faster than others, right? We know Saturdays is the premium day. Everybody wants to have their event on a Saturday. So you could have your Saturday as one set price and then understand that Sundays may be the next most popular day. Then maybe Fridays, right? Because no one really likes to have their event after a lot of people have coming from work or coming from school, and possibly even Thursdays. I see this happening a lot for people who have wedding venues, people who are hosting weddings, because it's expensive and you can get some great deals on a Thursday. So if that's you, if you have a premium location or plan to have a premium location, then it may be possible for you to factor in possibly a Thursday, right? To see if your Thursdays can book out. Now, these things, especially for Thursday, you're going to want to test out because not many people will go are in the market for a Thursday booking. So these are things that you want to make sure that you test out first, see what other people are doing, that sort of thing. But the more desirable the day is, the higher the price. And this is called dynamic pricing. You want to base your pricing on the events that you have to determine what type of profit you're going to get, right? So these are different ways that you can price your venue. You can price your venue based on time slots. Maybe you'll have a time slot in the morning and a time slot in the afternoon, right? For Saturdays. You may want to even do it for Sunday if you can. You can base it on an hourly rate. You can base it on packages, or even base it on the type of event. So time slots are one thing. Setting a specific time slot is very, very, very specific, and it's down to the minute. You can't have people go over the time. You can't have extra time. It's very detailed, and it's limiting. So if you have people with that sort of flexibility and they're able to do that, then the time slots may work for them. The hourly pricing is something that I kind of like, but hourly pricing is something that you will find, especially on a Saturday, people taking the middle of the day. That means you can't book it out for any type of event. You can't book it out for a church. You can't book it out for any type of marketing or other event if you have your own events, right? It'll be more difficult to do because you'll find that these people will tend to book during your optimum time. So that's the only thing when it comes to hourly pricing. The pricing according to the day, say if you have a price for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, your prices for Friday will be, I don't know, $1,000. Saturday will be something like 1,600. Sunday, something like back down to, I don't know, 1,100, something like that. Whatever it is, you're pricing it based on the day. Some people like to do that because it's easier as a business owner to figure out, especially when people call to inquire, and it's easier to figure out your potential income, right? Pricing according to the event type. So say, for example, if you have a kids party versus a baby shower, you may decide that the kids party is cheaper, right? So instead of $1,000, it's $800. And instead of excuse me, and for the baby shower, it'll be, a whole nother price. The problem with that is that you'll run into a lot of people lying about what type of event they're having to get the cheaper price. So that's something that you want to factor in as well. Then you have the pricing by packages. So you may have package A, package B, package C comes with X, Y, and Z, and you can price it based on that, the packages that you have. I want you to also consider extra time. Sometimes people ask for extra time before the party starts, the event starts, so that they can have their design or their decorator come. And I want you to understand that people sometimes ask for more time after. So you should have rates for all of these things, right? And see what's best for you and your business model. It's really hard to say, when it comes to other people, because you can ask people online, oh, what should I do? How do you guys charge? And it's great to get ideas, but you can't always do what other people are doing, right? Now, there's different pricing strategies that you can consider. There's many different pricing strategies, but the ones I want you to look at, I feel that are most important for this type of industry, for the events-based industry, is bundle pricing, psychological pricing, and dynamic pricing. And we'll go over all of these. So the bundle pricing is basically when you're bundling products or services, right? You have your bundle and you offer them at a discounted rate. It can definitely incentivize your customer to get more than one item and can increase your sales over time. So you can have a small, medium, large package. You can have a a silver, gold, platinum package. There's power in threes, so you want to make sure that you at least have three. After three, it becomes overwhelming to the brain. So you want to make sure that you at least have three packages if you decide to do bundle pricing. Psychological pricing is just the 99. So for example, things that end in 99 instead of the dollar. So if something is priced at $10, instead of putting $10, they'll put $9.99. It says it's very emotional perception to the customer, and it kind of makes it feel more affordable and appealing to the customer. Dynamic pricing is a pricing strategy that involves setting prices based on supply and demand. So for example, if you know that a certain season is slower, you're not going to increase the price during that time. You want it to book out, right? So you may want to decrease the time because you have a lower demand. Whereas, say, for example, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is a time where a lot of people may want your space on New Year's Eve, and it's only one New Year's Eve. So your supply is low, but your demand may be high. That means the cost goes up, right? So that's called dynamic pricing. So you can just think about these types of pricing strategies when it comes to trying to figure out what prices you're trying to come up with for your event space. By the way, guys, if you like what you're hearing, I have more of this in the Ultimate Event Space course. And this course right now, because it's very new, it's only $97. And it's easy to understand. It covers topics about how to get started, how to fund your business and business credit, visibility and marketing strategies. We go over demystifying zoning and CFO issues. We go over automations and contract and management operations and so much more. In the course, I also have a Canva mini course within the course to go over how to decorate and market your business, as well as a AI section in business, because AI is the new, listen, AI is the new everything, okay? So if you're interested in that, I want you to check out the link that's going to be somewhere around this particular video. Okay, now I want you to understand what we sell. We don't sell bookings, we don't sell events, the event space venue, we don't sell chair rentals, we sell time. We rent these things based on time. We sell time. And in doing that, I want you to always keep that in mind, because when people ask you, hey, can I just get this for an extra hour? It's just an hour. No, because we sell time, you have to put a value to that hour. You have to put a price to that hour. This is your business. You can't give away everything for free. Okay. So you have to understand that even in, this video, right? I had to promote my course, right? Because everything isn't free. So you have to think like a business person and get out of thinking like a consumer and think like a business minded person, because sometimes still your customer will say, it's just 30 minutes. It's just an extra 10 minutes. You have to calculate and figure out how much you should charge them for that. Now, if you want to give them that and say, okay, well, it's in the cost, but the price of that is a review. Okay. It's always a cost. Okay. So I want you to understand that. Now, in doing that, I also want you to understand the quality of service. So I want you to always do your A and B testing, first of all, to make sure that what you're doing is working. If it's not working, then you have to change your strategy. Okay. I want you to figure out what makes sense. You have to base your prices based on the time that people are asking for, based on the cost, that the average cost that it's going for, as well as the quality level. If you know that your space has church chairs and not Shafala chairs, if you know your space has old floors and it doesn't look as pretty as it needs to look, then you know the quality is not at optimum quality. Therefore, you cannot charge as much as something with a better quality, right? Because your product isn't good. And it's important to be real with yourself. Okay. It's important to speak truth to yourself. Okay. Because let's face it, sometimes when we start off, the floors might be a hot mess. We might have a decoration on the floors that the previous renter had put on. We might have some ugly ceilings. We might not have the best chandeliers because we're just starting. So you need to make sure that you price it accordingly, okay? You can't ask for a top tier price when you have a mediocre product, okay? So usually the customer understands that something has to give. Okay, either it's based on the time they give, the cost of the venue, or the quality of the venue and the service. Okay, so you need to factor those things in as well. Here's the meat and potatoes, guys. When you're determining your price and trying to set up your price, I want you to research your competition. I want you to know where you stand in the market. It doesn't matter Well, I'm not saying to copy off of your competition, because it's not going to always be apples to apples, oranges to oranges. It's not going to be always be the same thing. You're not going to have the same type of space, right? It's going to be something that's different. But I want you to understand where you stand in the market amongst your competition, amongst the people in your area. Okay. So I don't want you overcharging significantly over what other people are charging, and you have the same mediocre product that they have. Okay. Or you have the same or similar product that they're giving. Okay. Because your customer is just going to go to the cheaper option because it's very similar, right? So you have to make sure that you're in the neighborhood. Okay. I want you to determine your cost based on your overhead. Know your cost of goods sold. Know how much it costs to maintain and keep your doors open. Make sure you understand what your numbers are. Okay, and you can base your prices on that. Do not underestimate your prices. Okay, because you have to understand that, like I said, you have to keep your doors open. And if you find a space that you can't charge that for, the amount that you need to keep your doors open, that might not be the space for you. Okay. So you need to look at all of these things before you even find a space. Can I charge this much for a space that's right next to a weed dispensary? Can I charge this much for a space that's right next to a garbage depot? Okay, so these are things you need to consider when you're looking for a space. Determine your value proposition. What gives your space value? Maybe it has a beautiful view, or maybe you have something that's really cute that you can offer that comes with your particular venue, right? Maybe it has a beautiful floor or something like that that you put down. Whatever it is, whatever that value proposition is, you need to put that into all of your marketing. Okay, all of your pitches need to display that, how you are different from your competitors. I want you to set your pricing strategy. Like I said, you're going to have to test it out, see what makes sense, run your numbers, see what makes sense based on your market, based on, if you're doing it by the day, as I mentioned earlier, if you're doing it by the event, if you're doing it by the time slots, whatever it is that you decided to do, make sure you run your number, understand what your pricing strategy is. Are you doing bundle pricing strategy? Are you doing your psychological pricing strategy? All of those need to be factored in. Okay. And test it out. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's straight. That's just what it is. If it ain't making no money, then it doesn't make sense. If your competitors, if you notice that a lot of your competitors are doing time slots and you come with hourly, there may be a reason why in your area they're doing time slots, right? So a lot of times I tell people, if don't try to recreate the wheel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So all of these things you need to consider how to price your event space. Okay. Remember that pricing is not a one-time decision. It's not a one-time thing. You may need to adjust your pricing over time based on the changes in cost, the changes in the market, your competition, the changes of the industry, customer demands, all these things, even your personal reasons. You might say, I have a daughter she needs braces. I need to increase my price to $25 so that I could afford her braces, right? Or so that I could cover the braces, right? You may be able to afford it, but it's like, I want this to keep the same amount that I'm getting, but I want her braces paid for, right? So it could be for personal reasons, and don't feel bad about it. If you need to increase your prices for whatever reason, then I want you to test it out. And if you decide that it works for your business, then it works for your business. Keep monitoring your prices, make it make sense, and come up with a strategy, like I said, and change it if necessary. And, just over time, make sure that you maintain profitability. Okay. If you notice that you're getting less and less customers, make sure you take the time to research these things. Why you're getting less leads, why you're getting less customers, why you're getting less bookings. Maybe it's a place down the street that you didn't even know about. Right? So things like this is going to definitely help you to determine your pricing. And guys, I completely forgot to mention this, but this is not legal or financial advice. You do what you need to do for your business, okay? This is just for informational purposes only. Ideally, you should have all your expenses covered in one weekend. That should be your goal. Your goal should be ultimately to cover all of your expenses in 1 to 2 events, and everything else is just profit. Okay, so that should be your goal. And I want you to think about these things, that all of the things that we just mentioned. Okay, make sure you run your numbers, all of those things, and to come up with a good number for your business plan, for you to start to, when you start to finagle your numbers, the landlord asks you what's your profit margins or your future profit margins, you can come up with them like this, okay? And what makes sense for you and your business, okay? I hope this video helps. Be sure to subscribe and like and comment, and make sure that you guys check out my course, okay? Check out that course. Right now it's only $97. I don't know how long it's gonna be $97, but it's new. Check it out. Thanks guys so much for watching. I love you. Bye.